So I've managed to put together this desk setup, and it's one that I really like. And one of the things I really like about the setup is the Walnut desk and the Walnut desk accessories. Now, one thing that I hadn't seen until recently was a Walnut keyboard, or at least a keyboard that matches my desk. That was until I got to try out the Akko MU01 wooden keyboard. And basically, it's kind of a merger between a modern keyboard, something that actually looks quite traditional, and Akko have really taken into consideration how the keyboard looks. And personally, I really like it, especially the walnut base, which contrasts with most plastic clad keyboards that are out there. So in this video, I'm going to go through and review the Akko MU01 mechanical keyboard. As I've said before, Akko has chosen to use a walnut wood for the case of the keyboard. The wood tones and grain patterns make each keyboard unique. The wooden base means the build quality is really good and there's no flex or wobble with the keyboard. It's also got a 65% layer and is compact yet functional, and it strikes a balance between portability and usability. As per usual, I'm going to complain about the lack of feet on the keyboard because you just can't adjust the height with this one. However, I can actually kind of understand with this keyboard for a change, and it's given that it's got the wooden case, the feet probably would have to be made out of plastic and it would kind of ruin the aesthetic of the keyboard. There are some sort of rubber grippy bits on the bottom that means the keyboard doesn't move on a desk mat or on the desk itself, but again, I tend to prefer feet on the back of a keyboard. There is a natural incline on the case of the keyboard, which does make it more comfortable when typing. There's also this metallic gold bar across the top with the Akko branding. It goes nicely with the keyboard design. The only port in the back is the USB Type-C port, which means you can only connect it with a USB Type-C cable. However, you can connect it with Bluetooth, wired, or a wireless receiver. The only flaw is you have to take one of the keycaps off to find the switch to adjust between the connectivity options. If I'm being really honest, this is really annoying, and I'd much rather Akko would put a switch on the back of the keyboard. I get that would lessen the minimal design, but having a switch covered up by a keycap really just isn't that functional. Moving on to the keycaps and switches. The MU01 comes equipped with Akko's MOA profile keycaps. The MOA profile offers comfortable typing with a slight concave shape. These PBT keycaps are dye sublimated, ensuring that the legends don't fade over time. And that's also important given the keyboard has a really unique, what Akko are calling, mountain seclusion theme. And this really helps the keyboard stand out, and it's just something different that you're going to find on these keycaps. And you're not going to get this with most typical keyboards. You can also get the keyboard with a set of autumn themed keycaps, which are a lot more minimal, and Akko also offers something called Joy of Life keycaps, which again are pretty unique. The keycaps themselves are really nice to type on, and arguably one of the nicest sets of keycaps I've actually come across. They just feel really high quality and just have a really smooth texture. Another thing I really like about the Akko line is it's released the keyboard with an ISO layout. It's great given I'm based in the UK and I just much prefer ISO layouts. In terms of the backlighting, the keycaps are PBT, so you're not going to get any shine through from the backlighting, and the backlighting itself is fairly minimal. But I don't really mind this, as I really like the keycaps themselves, so it's not really about the backlighting. Underneath the keycaps you'll find Akko's rosewood switches, and these are Prelude 45 linear switches with nylon stem and housing. The typing experience is smooth, and you do get a sort of satisfying thok sound that most keyboard users like. And these switches are hot swappable, so if you want to swap them out for tactile switches, for example, well, you can. Typing on the MU01 is great. The combination of the MOA keycaps and the rosewood switches creates a really nice experience that's both satisfying and comfortable. The keyboard is gasket mounted, and this adds to the overall typing feeling, and it provides a soft sort of bottom out when you're typing, and this also reduces the vibrations. As I said before, the MU01 offers both wired and wireless connectivity, and switching between the modes is annoying to say the least. And that's because, as I said before, you have to take the enter keycap off to access the switch to change between the connectivity options. However, the actual connectivity options are fine, and I'd argue are fairly standard across most mechanical keyboards. You get your Bluetooth connection, wired connection, and wireless connection, with a wireless receiver in the box. The keyboard itself also lacks VIA support, which might be a drawback for some users who prefer lots of customization. Akko's Cloud Driver software allows some basic customization, including the RGB lighting effects, key remapping. And whilst it's functional, it's not the most intuitive, feature-rich software, and there's definitely better options out there on the market. The MU01 features south-facing RGB lighting, and while the lighting is vibrant and offers various effects, the MOA keycaps are opaque, meaning the backlighting just doesn't shine through. And this really isn't a deal breaker for me, but it's something to consider if RGB aesthetics are something of a priority for yourself. I guess to summarise, the pros of this keyboard are the premium walnut casing, which matches really well with my desk setup, the smooth and satisfying typing experience, and the keycaps themselves. You've got dual connectivity options, and it's got a really nice design with, like I said, the unique keycaps. The cons of this keyboard, well, it's got no VIA support. The RGB lighting is alright, but you're not going to get shine through if that's something you want. And as I said before, you've got limited software customization options. And the thing that really annoys me more than anything is the fact that the connectivity switch is located underneath the caps lock keycap. Overall, Akko MU01 wooden keyboard is a standout in terms of both design and performance. Whilst it may not have the biggest range of customization options, it makes up for this with the typing experience, the keycaps themselves, and the actual case the keyboard comes in, mainly the walnut wood. And if you are in the market for a keyboard that combines style and substance, the MU01 keyboard is definitely something worth considering. Now, thank you for watching, and hopefully you found this video useful. And if you have, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.